Does mewing actually work, or is it just a funny trend? Many say it's just people aging, losing weight, or manipulating lighting, while others report benefits even outside of bone structure. First, we need to get the definition of mewing correct. Many seem to think it's clenching your jaw, but the reality is you only want your teeth touching very lightly, but that's still not really mewing. Mewing is when you raise your tongue up on the roof of your mouth. Your tongue shouldn't touch your front teeth, and your back third should be up as well. Now that that's out of the way, does it work? Many will click off, but the truth is, yes. How though? Well, your skull isn't just one giant bone, it's a lot of bones. Those bones have a lot of spots where they meet, and a big meeting point happens to be on the roof of your mouth. And those bones can move around, which is a big part of what mewing does. You will grow new bone to some extent, like when your palate gets wider, but mostly it's just moving the bones into the correct spot. But why? Why would the bones move? Because there are certain forces in our environment that our body is used to, and frankly, it kind of relies on them. Like if you don't walk for a while, your bone density will get a lot lower, and if you were to stop walking completely, you'd become very fragile. But how does that apply to mewing? Well, in a slightly different way. Your skull is used to the natural pressure your tongue provides, and when that's not there, things go south, but more like down. Because your face becomes downswung, your palate gets narrow, teeth overcrowded, and the final result is that your face becomes incredibly aerodynamic. And as much as having less wind resistance might be advantageous, I think most of us would prefer a more normal jawline. So once that correct posture is reintroduced, things start going back to the way they were supposed to be. Because keep in mind, there's people in third world countries that have no idea what mewing is, yet they've been doing it their whole life. It just comes so naturally to them. All it is your natural tongue posture. It's not damaging, it's not magic, but it's something we lost because in the modern world there's pollution, there's allergies, or like in my case, it could be you getting sick. Nonetheless, a lot of stuff interferes with your nose, forcing you to mouth breathe and not letting you hold your tongue up. But where's the evidence? Well, from one video Dr. Mike Mew made, it talks about a population of some native people. They lived a more primal lifestyle, but then some of them decided to leave and instead go live in a modern town. And by the second generation of them living a modern lifestyle, they got teeth abnormalities. And that's just one piece of evidence. With all the transformations you can find online, it becomes really challenging to say it's just from lighting or from some other factors. And while on that topic, let's talk about some of those arguments. Lighting, aging, weight loss. Yeah, those impact how your face looks, but they aren't gonna unrecess your face. That comes from habits. Like, let's look at Colin Murray, who I showed earlier. He would not have gotten like this just from aging. And if we overlay that illustration that I've been spamming all over this video, we can actually see it lines up pretty good. Judging off that image, we can see that in some spots he moved his bones, and in some other images we can see that he almost certainly grew some bone. Sadly, working out or manhood alone won't get you this. And even though he has a very good transformation, he isn't the only one this has happened to. And guess what? Your dentist that's telling you not to mew, if she's at least somewhat attractive, she's probably mewing or applying some of those habits that I told you about. They know so little about it, they don't even know that they're doing it. That just shows how misinformed many people are. But now, why are so many people against it? Well, a lot of it is going to be from dentists and orthodontists. They make a lot of money from tooth extractions, narrow palates, giving people braces, removing wisdom teeth, which by the way, almost everyone should be able to keep, but aren't able to because their palate didn't develop properly. They don't tell you these things. They don't even tell you that removing adult teeth will affect your face. And it's mostly the fault of their higher-ups that purposely misinform them. And remember how at the start of the video, I said some experience benefits outside of just bone structure changes? That's because proper breathing and mewing can help sleep apnea too. And treating sleep apnea is another big moneymaker. I know you probably heard a million times about how awful the medical industry is. And sadly, that's the truth of many medical places, especially in the US. It's not about fixing problems, it's about making money off of them. Alright, my little rant aside, but many aren't getting paid. So why are they against having proper tongue posture? Well, many are misinformed. The orthodontist industry has a lot of money. And with money comes influence. They're even suing Dr. Mike Mew. So when they pump out these huge loads of misinformation, it's easy to get misinformed yourself. But what about the rest? This might come off rude, but more than anything, hopefully it serves as a wake-up call. The truth is, many have recessed faces and all the issues I described. And of what the medical industry is saying, it's just genetics. And for some, that's a very easy pill to swallow. There's nothing you have to do differently, and there's nothing you did wrong. But when Dr. Mike Mew or me or anybody else says you can change and you can improve, well, now that's two hard things. things. First one, they have to accept they made mistakes about breathing and tongue posture. I want to clarify, there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. I've done them myself. But second, now they're left with a chore to try to fix that. Mewing, chewing harder foods, nose breathing. And for mewing and nose breathing, you even have to do it when you're asleep. That's hard. It's not gonna come easy to rewire that habit. So it's easier to say, there's nothing I can do. And that's it. Bye bye.